Let me ask you something. Are you getting everything out of your rent-to-own business? If you're not an A-Pro member, then the answer is probably no. Look, advocacy is A-Pro's bread and butter. This is why they were created and what they do best. But here's the thing. A-Pro membership is about way more than advocacy. A-Pro connects you to the movers and the shakers of the industry, people who've been there, done that, and they can help you do it even better. A-Pro's monthly webinars give you expert insights and actionable takeaways. It's like having a masterclass for your business every single month. Got questions about complex regulations or sticky situations? No problem. A-Pro's legal hotline gives you direct access to experts who have got the answers. That's a peace of mind that you can't put a price on. And let's not forget the resources, news, updates, and tools that keep you ahead of the curve. Scholarships for your team? Check. Disaster relief when you need it most? Double check. A-Pro is your ultimate support system in the rent-to-own world. So stop settling for less. With A-Pro, members get more. More support, more connections, and more success. Head over to rtohq.org and join the A-Pro family today. Because in this business, more isn't just better. It's essential. See you at the top with A-Pro. Hello and welcome to the RTO show. I'm your host, Pete Chow, and today we're covering podcast guests Chad Fosdick and Jeraud Norman, who stopped by the Jeraud Norman marketing booth during A-Pro's RTO World 2024 convention in Orlando, Florida. That's where we had the RTO show podcast set up for multiple guests to stop by and literally talk rent to own. Now, during several of the next few podcasts we release, these will be the interviews that came from those amazing discussions. This was a great show, I couldn't believe it, where I was able to talk to some of the wonderful people from the RTO industry and really get a chance to know them for a few and talk one-on-one. Now, also I want to let you guys know that the Season 4 is coming to an end with the release of RTO World 2024 Flash interviews because it's time for Season 5. The entirety of Season 5 will be done in audio and video format, so make sure you find my YouTube channel, the RTO Show Podcast, and make sure you subscribe to us there as well so you don't miss anything new. Now, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And remember that this podcast wouldn't be here, literally, without your support. So if you'd like to become a sponsor for the show, please head over to the website. You can find us at thertoshowpodcast.com. Click on a sponsors page. And listen, if you're on your phone, click on the 3 lines at the top of the homepage. When you go to the sponsors page, show your support through the links. Your help is literally, guys, literally always appreciated, and I thank you so much. And with that being said, I want you guys to know, here is the Flash Podcast with Chad Fosdick and Jeraud Norman just outside RTO World 2024 in the main vendor hall.
All right, we're back in session 2. We got 2 guys here. We got the man of the hour, man. He heard a little bit of everything, right?
A little bit, yeah.
So Chad Fosdick, Jeraud Norman, listen, just so you guys understand, these guys know a ton about rent to own. And now we're sitting here at RTO World 2024. I was in your class earlier. I think it was yesterday, when we're talking about how you make Facebook work, how you make radio work, and you're not doing all the fancy things.
Yeah.
Jeraud does the fancy things, okay? So it's almost like that dichotomy of how do you make it work with what I got?
Yeah.
And one of the things that kind of got to me when you were talking was, this is how you do it. I'm not sure if it does this or if it does that. And then, of course, that's where you come in. You just kind of analyze all that data. How is it working out now? Because you've got the 6100 last time we talked is working, but you said your Facebook Lives are not kicking on right. So what's going on with that?
I think we became inconsistent, and so I think that the algorithm punishes that, right? So, if we could get consistency back, I think that we would probably, because we were doing some lives where it was every third Thursday of the month we are going to auction this item off live on Facebook,
right?
And people could look forward to that stuff. And then whenever we just stopped, I don't know why. We shouldn't have.
No, and that's how it works, right? The consistency. Now, is it a daily consistency, like let's say Thursday for Thursday for Thursday, or is it a consistency like at least every single week something's coming out on a regular basis?
I'd say it's a little bit of both. Honestly, if you keep the consistency weekly, it helps out a lot. But that's kind of why I played the ads game, because organic is necessary. But when you run ads, it kind of just keeps that consistency going. So when it comes to learning the algorithm, I know if you're consistent, it works. But if you're not consistent, that's when it does punish you, like you said. But then ads can always jump in and kind of make up that difference. Because even like with him having a 6100, he knows what his reach is like. for him riding the algorithm really good because they do a good job with their Facebook. He reaches a lot.
They do a great job.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
They do a great job. I'll be honest.
I was telling you yesterday, we were on one of the premiere calls. And I brought up his page on the premiere call and was like, hey, this is what Chad's doing. You guys at least need to do this if you're consistent. But then one thing, I think it was something, I think you were talking about it yesterday with the restaurant. There was a restaurant came to town and some people were complaining, and he kind of put his feelings on how it was out there. And he had so much engagement on the post because he's talking about social issues and how he feels. And that's the whole point of being local.
Yes.
Do that or do it organically. Yes. But then my thing is I get fancy and put $1 or $2 behind it. You can get in front of way more folks. So he's doing it.
Yeah.
No, Chad, because this is something I have not done, right? So when we say mix it up, we say, all right, show your delivery guy, show some product, talk about things. But you're talking about stuff that happens in town, not rent-to-own related at all. This is what's going on in Nebraska in my side of town. Listen, man, that place is closed down, or hey, man, this new place is opening up. Do you find that engagement brings you the same type of return as if you're just talking about, hey, this sofa is $12.99 or $13.99 or whatever?
It's probably actually better engagement. Just
really?
Well, I mean, and I kind of touched on it a little bit yesterday, but I mean, we all care about our communities, especially in delivering in the way we do through rent to own. So we already care and are concerned of the health and well-being of the community that we're in. And so then we probably have a little bit of responsibility to speak on some of those things because I mean, as we all know, the algorithm, it's so responsive to the negativity. Because they're keeping you on the loop, they're keeping you on the platform, and a lot of time it's that negativity that keeps you. Well, we all know it's not all that bad out. So if I can be the voice of some positivity when I'm seeing things just getting blasted for no reason, or maybe that people are just in their feelings or something, I don't know. But so yeah, I actually think it gets better because then when it comes time for us to ask, hey, do you want to buy this couch, or here's this TV we got, or whatever it is, they know that we're not just there doing that. You know what I mean? We're doing more.
I'm going to tell you guys a secret, okay? I heard this the other day, and I heard you want to have a sunnier day, turn your phone off for a day.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, there's nothing going on anymore, right? I'm not worried about what's happening in this country or what's going on over here, or taxation over there, or this guy's going and having a bad day, and now it's all over TikTok. It's like you just have a better day. And I think sometimes we forget that it doesn't always have to be that negative, because that negativity spreads, but it doesn't really do anything. It's that misery loves company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you say something like, hey, man, this place has really good food, you need to try this out. And then you get that kind of interactiveness, and it really helps.
Yeah.
But
thought of some.
Oh, that's it. It's an idea on the show first.
What he was saying about the negativity, that's true. Because if you could look at somebody's news feed, it tells you what kind of person they are because they have what they attract in there. So for me, more than likely guys like us, we're removing negative things from our news feed, but most people aren't. But they don't always remove the positive things. So in his town, if he's that positive light, or if he's someone who's bringing change to the conversation, then he stands out, right? Not to mention, like, I agree with you. It probably does better when he's not doing that, because all you're doing is selling. They become blind to that. But if they actually get to deal with the people behind it, right? Because even if on that post I was talking about, I didn't like what he said, I could not shop at the store. But the people who did like what he said, they're more bought in. And they're like, that's my guy. That's who I want to deal with, if that's how he feels.
Yes.
So people like to take sides.
I mean, and we've had some pretty vile comments on some of our stuff where we're talking about this new restaurant or this new thing or this one that went away. And I know I'm not just, I reply to all the comments, no matter if they're good or bad, because we have to be able to have a conversation. And kind of to your point, some people are going to read my response, which I try to have tact and be professional still, right? I'm not digging in the mud with them, but some people might not like my response to them, and they may never actually come into the store because of that, which is not what I'm trying to do. But that probably is going to save us all some pain in the future.
It's polarizing.
Yeah.
Polarizing to an extent, because you attract your tribe.
Yep.
So the people that are with you, they become so loyal that they tell other people.
Yep.
And it's genius how you're doing it.
Thank you.
I feel like more people.
No, but it's true. We was just talking to yesterday when we had the live podcast, right? Joe Luxett was sitting there and he was talking about the differences between now and Gen Z. And when I say now, our particular generations versus Gen Z. And they're not necessarily loyal to the brand, they're loyal to the cause. right? So you might have one or two fall off because you know what? That's not their kick. But if you're true to who you are, the company's true to the brand that they are, then you're going to find off right off the bat that the people who are attracted to that are going to be more now loyal to that situation because you know what? I'm not going to go here because this guy doesn't do what I like. But I know they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it might not be everybody, but it could be a good chunk of somebody. And it'll keep on returning because you've been honest about it up front and said, hey, man, this is just the way we are.
Yep.
I don't like that, right? I don't like that. We got taxed pretty crazy. I don't like that. Or whatever this is. I don't like that. Let me tell you. Or you do. Or whatever the case is.
Yep.
How does the social media, though, situation relate differently to the radio situation? Because you brought in both. And now I know social media is... it's algorithm based, right? You're either doing it, like you said, sometimes you get punished for not doing it all the time, or you do it all the time, or I'm trying to change the content or whatever. I say something and don't say something, somebody's stitching it. Radio is a one-way world, right? If you're on the road, you either hear it or you don't. Yeah. You can't back it up. You can't replay it. And so it gives you a whole different ballgame. And what's crazy is back in the day when I did it with Danny, like he'd be like, hey, man, we were talking about radio. And he's like, yeah, I don't ever listen to radio. Everything I listen to is like MP3, I dial and I stream. And I'm like, dude, I listen to radio all the time.
Yeah.
Like if it's on the radio, I probably heard it. He's like, nah, I don't listen to radio all the time. So you get that change.
Yep.
Do you realize that the radio customer that you get, that clientele, is it different in some way than your social media clientele? And is that why you do both?
Let's take a quick break.
Hey everyone, it's Pete Chow here from the RTO Show podcast, and I want to tell you about a company that's making a real difference in the rent-to-own space. Wow Brands. I've seen firsthand how they approach marketing. And let me tell you, it's not just about ads. Wow Brands builds complete digital ecosystems designed specifically for the rent-to-own industry. Their e-commerce and lead generation strategies are built to bring in qualified leads. And did I mention that they are actively working with the rent-to-own industry while also being members of APRO and TRIB? Listen, these folks are passionate problem solvers. They don't just slap something together, they design, build, and scale the kind of digital retail tools your business needs and your customers actually want. So if you're serious about growing, reach out to Wow Brands at wowbrands.com. I trust them, and I think you will too.
I almost think that it's not lost on me. I try not to let it be lost on me, but how do I want to say? I think a radio ad, similar to a TV ad, is like the social proof. Like if this individual is on this radio commercial, they must be legitimate, right? These are not fly by night. They must be the real thing. And like it's probably an older generation that if I see something on TV like an ad, it's like that's social proof. Like okay, this is legitimate. So
we're just getting knowledge right now. You know what? That's so absolute truth. Because when I've gotten to the point now, when I watch something on YouTube as a reel, if I see something on TikTok, if I see something on Instagram, always in the back of my mind, that's not real. That's somebody out there with a camera just kind of funking it up. You always see those things. This is Instagram. This is life, right? You look at it and they're like one person by the waterfall, and now there's like 75 people by the waterfall. Yeah. But that's true, though, because when I hear it on the radio, I don't question that. To me, that's knowledge.
Yep.
Like you said, when I see it on TV, not on YouTube, when I see it on TV, I'm like, that's knowledge because they have to answer to somebody for that.
Yep.
It can't be fake. It can't be unreal. You can't say, hey, I've got this deal for this, and then somebody walks in and is not. No, because they're going to call the radio and go, this guy's lying, right? Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's absolute truth.
It's the barrier to entry. Basically what you're saying, the barrier to entry on social media is so much lower, so it levels the playing field.
Yes.
Like you said, radio and TV give you a higher level of credibility because people know you're not necessarily.
Well, and not only that, listen, and I could tell you right off the bat, I know that on social media, you can buy a good camera, which you're making payments on, right? You didn't buy the $1,500 iPhone. You get a camera that you're making good some payments on. You got maybe a good microphone, and you can make some content.
Yeah.
But when you get on the radio, that's not a cheap entryway.
No.
And I'm not going to ask you how much you pay, but I know it's not cheap. I know you just don't go on the radio and be like, I want a 15-second ad for nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, no, you've got to buy time. You've got to schedule this out because also if they don't hold up to their contract with how much time they want to give you, what you want to say, you can hold them accountable. It's not like, I posted it today. I don't want to post it tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah.
So what do you think, given apples to apples and oranges to oranges, you had to give up one. You got to give up social media or you got to give up radio. Are you going to put something into one or the other? Where do you go?
Oh, I'd give up radio. I would go.
Really? I actually thought it was the other way. Really? I thought it'd be the other way.
Well, because it's different. Maybe if this was earlier on in our store's opening, right? People know we're legit, right? Now that we've been there 10.5 years, because it's much longer form content, we can go deeper on the topic if we stick with Facebook. So, and we've done a little bit of like Spotify and, YouTube music, or I'm not really sold on it. I feel like, the people that is targeting on those, they're probably paying for the premium to not have the ads delivered to them.
My son's like that. Yeah. I like the ads because I'm marketing.
Yes.
He doesn't want no ads. He's mad when I got my YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you know what I've noticed too is on the streaming platforms, when it comes to music, it becomes background noise. I don't know too many people that actually put it on to listen to it like the radio. They kind of put it on because it's there. It's non-interruption. It doesn't get static when it rains or whatever. And when the commercial comes on, you kind of just zone it out, right? It's just there. Yeah. But I think when you're listening to the radio, you are intently listening to it. So I do think it's a different platform. But it's funny that you say that. And I was going to be curious, like, is it like peanut butter and jelly that they're not the same, but they go together? Or is there like a dichotomy? Like, you know what, my social media guy is like fighting with my radio guy, and I'm trying to figure out who's best, right? Have you ever really decided to do something like an ad campaign that says, okay, my ad campaign is going to say, on the radio, I want you to give me this, right? I don't know. Premier is better in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And then go online and go, hey, give me this coupon code of Chad's the man, right? And then see what plays out. Have you ever tried that?
That's a really good idea. We've done versions of that where, okay, we have one source of information that this piece of information can be put out on, which would be, let's say, the radio ad. And the radio ad might say, hey, be on the lookout for our videos that we're releasing on our Facebook page over these next 7 days to get qualified to blah, blah, right? But we've never done it in the inverse where we're saying on Facebook, make sure when you hear my ad, give me that coupon code at the 22-second mark or whatever. But that's a good idea.
Well,
I love it.
I'm going to say this because I know we're RTO related, but you have two other businesses. You have the Glass Doctor. What was the other one?
Mr. Appliance.
Mr. Appliance. Yep. Okay. So and I'm always trying to think of how to make it better, right? I'd say go to Glass Doctor, and you guys do social media for a month, and you go to the other one. You do this radio for a month, and whichever one's better, I'm going to use that for Premiere, right? It just we're just going to make it all out.
Yeah.
But I love the ideas because the truth is there's a lot of us out there, and we don't use radio like I think we should. And I really don't. It's not that I have anything against big box. It's just I don't think it's only for them.
Yep.
I really believe that there's more out there than just the Aarons and the Renaissance. I'm not saying that that's a bad problem. They're good, but they can also divert that cost over a lot.
Yep.
But my question is, as you bring them in, what's the closing rate on your social media run-ins and your radio run-ins? I mean, is it a lot higher than somebody calling on the phone?
Absolutely. I mean, because especially from Facebook, because if we've done something that they engaged with and they did that, they already made their decision. They didn't accidentally make it to the store. If they engaged first, or if they heard the radio ad first and then they got in their vehicle and drove, because our store is actually in a really terrible location. It's like so hard to get into. It's surrounded by a bunch of one ways. So if you take the wrong turn, you're going 5 blocks around. It actually almost didn't get approved by Premier when it first opened. It's like, terrible location.
Look, Chad, we can't get there. We're done. We're done with it.
And so it's very intentional. So yes, if someone's like, hey, I saw this on, do you still have this? And they show me their phone. I mean, we get that sale all the time, unless there's something just completely different with it than what was in the picture or the video.
Yeah.
I want to say something about that. I think part of the reason it works so well on Facebook goes back to what we talked about at the beginning, is because how you are on your Facebook page, right? Because people are getting to know you and your team. They're looking forward to meeting you. They want the thing. They already built the trust, and then they want to meet you on top of that. It's like a little subconscious thing in the back, because there's guys that run ads and they're running carousels and they'll get in contact with those people, but the contact rate is lower. Plus they're not following up fast enough, versus if they did more videos or if they were more active on their page like him, then it's, I'm going to meet Chad, or I'm going to meet his team. And on top of, I need the thing, because people do business with people they like.
Yep.
Whether we're doing B2B or B2C, it's all P2P. It's people to people.
I think Chad's a likable guy, right? I think he's all right.
Some moment.
The good thing about what you're saying is, and the takeaways are, it doesn't matter what you do. You have to be invested in it. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? If you're going to do social media, stay constant, stay relevant, and make sure that there's a way that you can make sure that I got you from social media, whether it's a picture that you brought back to me, a special pricing, a coupon code, whether it's radio and you're saying, hey, like, well, how did you hear about me? Was it radio? Was it social media? Was it just my pretty face I'm walking around as you're driving 3 blocks around my store trying to figure it out, right?
Right.
So you really want to like know that no matter what it is, it's consistent. Because you said you ran ads and it didn't really work, and then you started doing them on a consistent way, and that really changed the mindset of it. That's really what changed it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the frequency that, and I understand the uncomfortability of getting on video, like just selfie video or whatever. But my point to people when they tell me, well, I'm not good on video, is like, well, you're pretty good right now in person with me. That's all it is. And that's all I'm trying to do. When I got that phone up, I'm just pretending Pete is sitting right across from me. I'm having a real conversation. And that's the only way, though, that people, and so I know that, again, some are like, I'm just so uncomfortable doing these videos, but you're going to be in their presence eventually. You could just do it digitally. You're just using a tool to do it digitally beforehand. And it's just so powerful.
And to his point, what I tell people is very similar. I'm like right now, Pete, you left the house, didn't you?
Yep.
You don't live here, right?
That's right.
You're on video, my man, as soon as you left your house.
Yeah.
It's just whether someone's recording it or not.
How many rings did you pass on the way here? How many CCTVs did you pass?
Exactly. So it's like when I pull out my phone, you all pull out your phone, don't change who you are. You're already out the house. Like, oh my gosh, I got to do no, you're already here.
Just have you seen that? No, and this is like a complete side note, but like all of a sudden you turn on the camera and they change.
Yeah.
Like who they are is a different, and it's like, no, I want to capture who you are. No, I can't. And then you turn it off and they're like kicking it up and they're having a good time. We're like,
that's why someone like you is great, because like I get people on video easy, because I used to go to do restaurants. I'd go interview restaurants and they were like, I'm not getting on video. They messed around and did a live video, didn't even know it. Because I basically asked them questions they know the answers to. So sometimes doing it by yourself is hard because you have to get started, but having someone like you or having someone like you that can help them in that moment and just ask them questions, they start settling down and then they forget. And worst thing is they didn't look directly at the camera, but it's really just talking about what you already know. You don't need a script for that.
Well, I can tell you right now, it takes practice. The first time I did it, and just like I'm sure the first time that you guys started what you did, right? It's just one of those things like, okay, I didn't get it right. But like we've been saying, the consistency in whatever direction we take has to be there. You just consistently get better.
Yeah.
No matter how it is.
Critic, though, because in all honesty, most of the time people shoot videos and send it to me. I'm like, it's good. They're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Like, it'll get better. I was like, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's not as bad as you're making it out to be. Like, it's perfectly fine. Run it. It's better that you run it than do nothing.
I don't know if you guys saw my last video. It was terrible, but everybody seemed to like it. So the one I was running. No, the one that was in the bounce house.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, I'm going to show it to you guys.
Okay.
Well, listen, I'm glad I have you guys here. I'm glad that you stopped by the booth.
I got one more idea.
What's up?
I want to tell it to him because I've been telling this to a lot of RTO.
That's it.
All right.
What do we got?
I've done it, but I think he's the guy.
Okay.
You were talking about the restaurant. So I have a page that, like, I was working with restaurants at one point and decided I didn't want to work with restaurant owners. But I would go out to eat, interview them, and eat the food, where I would do both, right? And the whole thing is everybody likes to eat.
Mm-hmm.
The question in everybody's house, and usually it's not the guys asking it, sorry, ladies, is what are we eating tonight? I don't eat cereal anymore, but my question was, I'll just eat some cereal, peanut butter and jelly.
Yes.
So the whole thing is everybody's looking for something to eat. So especially a guy like you, if you go out maybe once a week or once every other week and interview a restaurant owner, and if you can't get to them, just test the food. And because you are who you are, like I'm like Guy Fieri. If I really don't like something, if you see me enough, you'll know, but I'm not trying to trash the business.
Yeah.
But what happens is that restaurant will tag you.
Yeah.
The people that go there will follow you. Then they get to see who you are. Then your people go there.
Yeah.
On
That's
top
a great
of that,
idea.
what I used to do is I used to get a $25 gift. I'd say, hey, if I get you 1,000 views, will you give me a $25 gift card or 50? They'd be like, yeah. And my page, I would share it, but honestly, $5, $10 on Facebook, I know I'd get 1,000.
Yeah.
Show up, get the gift card, give the gift card away on live, and have
Such a great idea. Yeah.
right?
I'm going to make it happen.
Premier's going to have like a whole different channel after this is done. They're going to be like, like we're 85% rent to own, but there's some other stuff on here you want to see, right? But I think that's what it's about. It's about how we change to meet the demands of our current situation and still hold true to what we want to do. And we got to be different than we were yesterday. There's just no other way to make that happen. So thank you for being on, Chad Fosdick.
Right.
Premier all the way from Nebraska. We're going to be in your neck of the woods next year.
That's right. Looking forward to it.
Wait for that. You have to drive, you have to fly.
What happens in Nebraska?
Oh, it's next year. RTO World 25 in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
I'm going to see you out there. Yeah. And then Jeraud Norman and Jeraud Norman Marketing. Thanks, guys. I'll catch up with you later.
Appreciate it.
All right.
And that's the end of that Quick Flash podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, get your collections low to get your sales high. Have a good one.